Pie in the Sky Media. This series contains adult language and descriptions of graphic violence throughout. Listener discretion is advised.
3, 2, 1. And we're live. I got to tell you, Carolyn, it's with a little bit of shame, but a great deal of pride that the New York Knicks have won the NBA championship. The pride is because it's been 53 years under the Knicks, but you realize I'm not saying my New York Knicks.
Why?
Because I abandoned them about 15 years ago.
This is the dramatist in you coming out.
About 15 years ago, I abandoned them because of mismanagement, because of stupid fucking coaching changes, terrible drafts. Gosh, they thought Phil Jackson was going to be the answer. They let people go. I mean, it was just... And I was living in LA, and living in LA, it's a Laker town, and working in the service industry when the Lakers are winning, it's a great place to live and to work. And they became my basketball team. And with shame, I say I abandoned the Knicks. And so I feel like I don't think
that you did. I can feel it.
I'm watching from the outside. I am. You know, and I want to be there, but I get it. I got to take my lumps, you know. Listen, in 09, 08, really, when A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, the great third baseman for the New York Yankees, when he got suspended for steroids and ruined the game for me, I said, I am not watching a single game for the entire 2009 season. I boycotted the Yankees, and they won the fucking World Series that year. Okay, but I did it anyway. I'm a man of principle, if nothing else. And so I'll take my lumps here. I'm so fucking happy for the Knicks. I so badly want to be in the Canyon of Heroes for the ticker tape parade because there's nothing like it. But I won't. I'm not going to. I will cheer them on from afar, and I'll feel the sting that I lost my faith. But it's okay. It happens. It happens.
Why do you do that? You're like self-flagellating for like no reason at all. Like everybody would be happy for you to be happy. You should be happy. I mean, my dad, you know, he was just a Yankees fan through and through, and he would sit and talk to his brother who was in Staten Island. And of course we have the Sonics, but well, we did back in the day.
You did.
We don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
But like, well, wait, I'm mixing sports.
No, that's sports. Sonics are basketball team. Yeah, the Yankees
right, but the Yankees. But like he's cheered for other teams, but he always was wearing his Yankees hats and shirts and.
I have a million Yankee hats. I have New York Giants hats. I have New York Rangers hats.
Okay, so you don't have any Knicks.
I don't have any. I don't even have a Knicks T-shirt. I have Lakers T-shirts.
So I think you need to buy one. I think you need to.
God, I'm not that much of a phony. I'm a bit of a phony sometimes, but not. I can't do this because my friends will know and they'll call me out on it. They'll know. Oh, now you come around, Brandon. Where were you the last 15 years? And they'd be right. So it's okay.
Okay. Well, you know what? Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations
to the New York Knicks.
Yes.
They're heroes forever. They're heroes, New York City heroes forever. None of them will ever pay for dinner or buy a beer or anything in New York probably ever again. And
no, I mean when we had the Legion of Boom, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying. It was incredible. Like when Marshawn Lynch made an earthquake in Seattle.
Incredible. Like, he's a legend forever.
I mean,
instant legend.
He's amazing. I mean, it brings that camaraderie, the whole thing. It's just really exciting, you know. So so yeah.
And so Jalen Brunson, the MVP and the captain of the Knicks, you know, he's small for the NBA. He's listed as 6'2", which probably means he's 6'1" or 6.5. And, you know, the kid, he's just won everywhere he's been, from high school championships to McDonald's All-American to Villanova championships, and now, you know, and just a hard worker and just a winner. And the actress Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order SVU, that's been
Mhm.
going on for 100 years. Um, she has season tickets and she goes to every Knicks game, and he's like, she's my lucky charm. And you see her courtside at all of the games. I live across the street from her brother, Mickey,
Mickey, of
right?
course.
So, uh, and it makes it sting a little bit more. It does. I gotta be honest.
Brandon, stop.
Gotta be honest. Because then I gotta tell him, like, I grew up a Knicks fan forever, but
I
not
think
and
this is like what you want it to be your shtick, because nobody cares if you're, I mean, am I missing
people
something here?
people care,
They
Carolyn.
care.
People care. And you know what?
Hmm.
I can take a little bit of pride in knowing that there are a lot of other people like me who aren't being honest with themselves, who are saying that they were on board the whole time, and I know that they weren't. And shame on them. Take it. Take it. Take the scarlet letter. All right. Just fucking take it. Own it. Yeah. All right.
You know
Anyway.
what? People change. Like my mom never watched football. We never had that going on in our
Yeah.
house, right? I mean, after my parents' divorce, it was going on in my dad's house. And not football. Why do I keep saying football? Sports. But like when the Seahawks started winning, all of a sudden she had bling on, and I was like, "What
Yeah.
is
It's
happening?"
it's infectious. It's contagious. It's the power of sports. It's great.
It's
Great.
and it's amazing. And when they win, it's so great.
Yeah. And you feel like you're part of something, and yeah,
You
it's
are part of
fantastic.
something. It
Yeah.
brings people together.
Well,
So
it
get
really
on
does.
board.
It really does. Well, this episode, nice departure for you, from beheadings and betrayals and stuff to like a downright, like kind of whodunit and mistaken identity and wrongful prosecution and stuff, which is interesting. I didn't know where it was going. I didn't know where it was going. So that was interesting. And and I had one observation that really made me really sad and like, holy shit, this is why. But we'll get to that later. But and I love the woman who's like, these fuckers who say they're from Detroit when they're from the suburbs, go fuck yourself. I'm from Detroit. And I get that a lot because a lot of people from Jersey like to say they're from New York. And it
Mm.
always pisses me off, and I could tell the accents. I know when they're lying. And when I was a younger man, I
Oh
would
my
call
gosh. This is like a theme for you this
yeah.
week.
When I was a
Jesus.
younger man, I would call them out and get into trouble for it. But yeah, so I understand. I understand her pride. I respect her pride. That's great.
I
And
loved it. I
yeah, me too. Me
absolutely
too.
like
Me too. It's great.
I love it when someone is their authentic self. They don't forget where they come from, and
Yeah.
they don't put on airs. They don't, but
Yeah.
she did something incredible. And
Yeah.
you
And
know,
not even trying. She wasn't like, I'm going to go out and break this case. She just was utilizing, social media and like and made a post, and it was like the butterfly effect.
it was amazing.
Yeah, like one thing created all of this change, and wound up getting these brothers out of jail. And what a great story about how close these brothers were.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I don't
Um,
really see this as a, I appreciate the compliment and I do see why you would say that, but in terms of, I don't see it as a necessarily departure because of the emotional components to I mean, the brothers, like that's,
yes, yes,
yeah,
the emotional beats you're going to hit either way because that's just your
mhm,
sensibility. That's how you write. But in
yeah,
terms of like this kind of Byzantine like plot to gruesomely fucking murder somebody, or like someone's a cuck, or someone is whatever. Right. It's just there was
okay. You don't have time to say cuckold. You're gonna say cuck?
that's how the kids say it these days. Come on, I'm hip. I'm with the times. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Oh
come
my
on.
God.
Gosh, catch up, Carolyn.
No, no,
Christ.
no. I said to my son the other
Catch
day,
up, boomer.
Okay, you're gonna get struck by fucking lightning, cuck.
So it didn't have a lot of those elements that sometime are woven into your stories. It wasn't about the murder, right? It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't about, there was no forensic kind of stuff going on.
Yeah,
Like there
yeah, yeah,
wasn't any, I didn't even know it was a shotgun blast for old man Bob, right?
mm,
Drug dealer Bob,
yeah,
the dope man Bob.
yeah,
Uh, until I heard shotgun later. I thought it
yeah.
was just boom, like a revolver was what I was picturing in my head. But uh, what's terrifying about this is that the eyewitness account was right. It was a white card. It was two white dudes running. The eyewitness wasn't wrong. You know what
Yeah.
he remembered what he saw correctly. It just
Hmm.
happened to be a different white car and two different white dudes running from the building. You know, so that fuck,
It's
that's crazy.
terrifying.
That's really terrifying. That's
Yeah.
really really terrifying. So there's that. But the scariest thing for me,
Hmm.
absolute scariest thing for me,
Hmm.
was that you could boil it all the way down to the reason that those two guys did more than 20 years in jail was because there were too many murders that night in Detroit, and that thing didn't make the news. So the one guy who was checking the news, who could have said, whoa, 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 no, it wasn't those two dudes, figured that nothing went down. Figured
Hmm.
it wasn't that, since it wasn't on the news, no one must have gotten hurt and definitely not killed because that would make the news.
Hmm.
And just because Detroit is Detroit just decided to Detroit that night, and there were 10 other things to lead the news, the guy kept his mouth shut and didn't say what he saw. And it took all of that time for him to go, wait a minute, no, dude, it was this.
See, I think it was like the all of the people that came together to right this wrong, all the flip side of that coin, all the people that came together to basically get these guys convicted, or they didn't maybe know that they were doing it, but it
Right.
happened just through, I'm not going to say serendipity, but I can't think of another negative word that is serendipitous, you know?
Right.
But what I
Yeah.
see is exactly what you're saying. But then also what I had to stop myself from doing was The Breakfast Club came out in 1985, and this happened in 1987. And the director grew up in Grosse Pointe. And I
Yeah.
think that like
John
the
Hughes.
yeah, the play here of those two looking like rockers, back in the day,
Yeah.
like
They were the Benders.
they were the Benders, yeah. And I
Yeah.
wanted to add that piece in, but I just didn't have time and couldn't. But I think that the reason why I'm saying that is because the one brother wasn't even identified because they were always together. It's like, oh, you must have been there. He wasn't identified, right? So like imagine that. You and your brother are always together. You're not even there. Well, in this realm
Yeah.
of like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the witness didn't identify you, but identified your brother. And because you and your brother are always together, you just are going down too.
Yeah. So my point though is, let's say it was a slow news night
Hmm.
or a slightly slower news night. And
Yeah.
this was the fourth story before the first commercial break, right? And that
Hmm.
guy watched the first segment of the news and saw it, right? He probably would have called in
Hmm.
and would have changed the whole trajectory here.
Well, and here's the other thing about the bender is that one of the people, one of the five people that were in that car, they didn't even want to come forward. They didn't want to testify because there
Yeah.
was such a stigma to them going and buying weed back in 19. I mean, now it's so
Oh
different
my.
where it's like you can buy it
Yeah.
anywhere,
There was a
all over.
comedian. Who's the fucking comedian? Oh, it was Bill Maher. Bill Maher goes, kids these days will never know what we went through to get drugs back in the day.
Yeah.
You could just
Yeah.
walk into a dispensary now and
Yeah.
come out
Yeah.
with all the weed that you want.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
shit that we used to have to do. I was never a weed guy, so I never like had that. But I had friends in New York. Like there was a bit of this burgeoning industry of bicycle messengers who were weed dealers.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were bike messengers back then everywhere in New York before like emails when people were like, this document's got to get to Chase, blah, 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 or whatever. I mean, there were bike messengers everywhere. Far less today. But back then, that was, there was, but to have to go to Old Man Bob,
Well, and then the
park your car,
system,
walk down the alley, come to the back door,
come
and
to the
just
back door.
walk in, and yeah, yeah. But so it was Tommy and Raymond, right? And then they had two
Yeah.
younger brothers.
Yeah, they had two
Um,
younger brothers, Michael and I love she said the baby of the bunch.
yeah,
The baby of the bunch.
yeah. And
Um,
and so they were, but Tommy and Raymond were basically Irish twins. She said they probably
yeah,
weren't even a year apart. Right. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and it made me think of, I can reference a movie for anything, but these wrongful persecution movies, Shawshank, right?
Oh, of course,
What's
the
another? What?
best.
Yeah, My Cousin Vinny, which was a
Yeah.
good one. They never went to jail, but it was
Hmm.
mistaken identity that had to do with a car also, which was super cool. It was, you know,
Hmm.
same car. Um, Same
Well,
car
and
too. I mean,
the brothers didn't drive a car like that.
right, but very similar but I thought they had a white car that they
No, they
drove by.
didn't. They
So
drove by, but it wasn't identified what car they had, but they didn't drive by in a car like that.
right, it was
A Horizon.
yeah,
I know, right?
real lady killer. They were out cruising.
I know, I
Imagine
was like, can it fit five people?
five
I
college
know, I
dudes
was
in a
thinking the
Horizon
same thing.
going to buy weed. What? Come on, guys.
It's like
You only,
a
you only
champ.
need one guy to go get the weed. It doesn't have to be all fucking five of you, first of all. In a sweaty Horizon on a summer night in Detroit. Come on.
God, I
Kidding
know.
me?
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
I
Um,
swear to God, if a guy came and picked you up at a champ, I mean, you'd be like,
ugh, it's like a
um,
gremlin. Um,
oh
but
my
so
God.
uh but so yeah, so these guys go to jail forever, and then it happened so quickly. Like you
It
made it sound
happened
like 2 years was a long time. And I know you know better, but that's just how it kind of came across. Because I went, these innocence projects take decades sometimes. This happened like overnight.
well, to them it didn't. It took 3 years.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Three
yeah,
years.
but I mean,
Yeah.
comparatively speaking, they got off easy. And you know what? And fuck these prosecutors. Like justice wasn't done here. You know, who like? Sorry, whose ass are they kissing? Is it like to
Well,
make like
that's
the district attorney not get egg on his face, or what? They got.
I don't, that's the thing that terrifies me the most out of this is that they kept acting like they were guilty, even though it was clear that they weren't, even before. And then the
Yeah,
judge afterwards, which I didn't put this in, but the judge who originally sentenced them, I guess he had passed away, but his wife, after they were exonerated, reached out to the family and was like, I'm really happy for you guys because he always had an unsettled feeling about this. I'm like, what? How do
shove
you
it up your
sleep
ass with
at
your unsettled feeling. Do your
how do you
job.
sleep at night when you
Yeah,
think that and so, babies, they were 19 and 20
20.
or
Yeah,
20 and 21 when they were, I mean, I I just I'm at the age where with my son being, he's 18 now, and I think about that and I think about how terrifying that would be. And that's why the brothers being so close and
yeah.
like,
Like the
that
Menendez brothers, but they never separated the Menendez brothers. They're still in jail together. These
I
guys were
think they
separated.
tried to separate them and they were like, please, please don't separate us, please.
Right.
But like, I understand that sibling bond. I was very, 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 very close with my sister growing up, really
Yeah.
close.
My
Like,
brother and I are still really close. Yeah.
so you get it.
I totally get it. Yeah, I totally get it. And then it took a really sad turn, which I was hoping it wouldn't. But,
I
leopard can't
was
change its
so,
spots, right? It's hard.
don't even say that. I wanted to just
Well, I
curl
just
into a, and then the brother couldn't live
solid. Whatever
without
you do, I
Tommy.
do. Yep, whatever you do, I do. Here we go.
I know, but you talk about these relationships, like, I mean, it's like Romeo and Juliet. It's like that kind of that he can't live without his older brother. And that shows like the trauma of their childhood of like, I can't
Survive. Yeah,
live.
they were dependent on each other to survive, and that's a lot of pressure on the older brother too. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, that is
Absolutely.
like, I got to take care of you. It's crazy. It's
You,
crazy.
you know what? The sibling dynamic like that is crazy because it's a prison for both.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's when I'm not saying that it can be beautiful, and I don't want the family to listen to this and think I don't think that it's amazing and honor that love that they had for each other because honestly, that's the heartbeat of the story.
Yeah, sure, sure.
But I think that, like in my case, like with my sister, separating from her was, I think, one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. That's how
Yeah,
close we were. Just to
yeah,
have our own identities,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And because when you have that trauma bond, it's like, when you're kids, you do that, but then when you're adults, you got to figure it out. So you don't keep doing the same thing over and over again, you know?
Yep. So the older brother, did he have a heart condition, or did meth explode his heart? Like, what happened?
It sounded like from Aunt Jan, which she was amazing. I loved her.
Yeah.
I just really loved her. Um, that he started getting back into the life, and that if you do have a heart condition, he's, pushing 50 or plus, and then
Right.
he's
So
drinking and doing drugs, and
a
that's kind of
pre-existing
what hit.
condition was exacerbated by poor decisions in terms
I
of
mean, that
lifestyle.
was my take. I mean, you heard what she said. I didn't want to push because it was like I felt like what she was just the way she described. It's still so raw for the family.
Yeah.
And the
And
brother,
the younger brother just couldn't live without him. He was just rudderless.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's a perfect example of how money can't fix things, you know? This world wasn't meant for me. I mean, God, I just see
Yeah,
that
it's
little
crazy.
kid. His
No.
shadow. He was Tommy's shadow. I mean, I could literally like bawl right now. Like I was really,
So the older one had grandkids. So he was a dad before he went
I
to
think
jail.
that they both had, it sounds like they'd had relationships before,
Right.
obviously, and
Yeah.
that they both had, I think one of them
Well,
had a
that
daughter.
really young kids when they went to jail, like babies.
I get it, but I guess they did.
Yeah.
But they got used the money to set up trusts and stuff for their
Yeah.
for their for their children and
At least
grandchildren.
that was something
But I
worthy.
mean, this family so tight,
Yeah.
so tight. You heard her at the end. She was like, "This is what we just do," and I felt so honest. Because, like, let's be real here. Like, when stuff happens in your family, depending on what's going on in your own life and what can you do, and you know, you want to be a good person, but there's that morality thing. And it's like, no, there, we do this for each other. There's
Yeah.
no thinking about it. That was my sense, which I just applaud that.
Man. So sad story, tragic story that you're like, yay, they're getting out. And they're like, oh, didn't really work out too well for these guys at the end of the day. It's but for me, the takeaway is the miscarriage of justice when everybody thought they were doing their job correctly. And to get it that wrong, you know.
But I don't think everybody did. The judge was like, I have some reservations. It's like, dude, that's unless it's 100%, it's not
Right.
guilty.
Right. It's not the civil case where it's like this barely this much means okay.
Right.
Right. This is if you have reasonable doubt, you cut them loose.
I think it's just like, I think
To send two,
nowadays
I'm sorry, to send two kids because they were
they were
life without
kids.
parole. Life without parole. You got to be fucking sure. You've got to be
You got to be
100%.
damn sure.
Yeah, you got to be 100%. So
I just feel like they were, I mean this, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but I feel like they were throwaways. Like they thought,
sure.
nobody's going to care about them.
Yeah.
And
It's also reminded me a little bit of great movie from the night, Sleepers. You see Sleepers?
what remind me what it is?
So they say it's a true story, but no one could find any of the trial transcripts or anything in New York. It's about four kids in like the 60s who
Oh wait,
best
is that
friends.
that's with that really
It's
great
with
actor?
it's with Brad Pitt and it's with Jason
Yeah.
Patrick and
Yeah. Yes, I did see that. And they were like
yeah.
they went to like a Catholic church or something like that and
No, they robbed a hot dog stand, right?
okay.
And when they're like 12 and they have
Yeah.
to go away to a boys like
Okay, that's
to
it. There was so I said Catholic church, but they had to
no,
go
no,
to some
yeah. But I
reformatory.
know why you thought they went to a Catholic church
Right.
because they got ass raped the whole time that they were in this.
I know. I know. So forgive me
And
if I
and what's the
yeah.
word I'm looking for? Where do you go when you're? It's not jail when you're
Reform
13,
school.
but it's not reform. It's we're not in the 30s,
Juvie.
Carolyn.
Juvie.
Juvenile hall. There we go.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah,
Juvie?
they
We're
went
in
to
the 70s
juvie.
now?
At least you sound Gen X now. Yeah. So they went to
Okay.
juvie.
Wait, you're really firing on all
So they
cylinders.
go to juvie, and then years later,
Yeah.
right? Like Brad Pitt's character became an attorney, Jason Patrick's character became a writer, but the other two guys became
Hmm.
like killers. They were hoodlums, you know?
Yeah.
And they see the Kevin Bacon character who terrorized them in a restaurant, and they just fucking kill him and they get arrested for it. And so
Mm.
now they got to fix the trial. Remember?
Yeah, the story unfolds with
And
the
they've got
and
De
that's how I
Niro.
felt. That's how I felt. This felt so cinematic in that way, where the perspectives, movies that do that when they do it
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
well, where you've
Yeah,
got
well,
the,
yes,
you've
but the
got
thing
the,
about this one was they got De Niro, Father
mm,
Bobby, as a priest to
mm.
lie on the witness stand
Oh my
to
God.
get these guys off by saying that he took them to a Knicks game and he had the ticket stubs. And you see De Niro's character wrestling with it because he's an actual priest. He's the kind of priest that you hope all priests would
Yeah.
be like, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't know
Oh,
what to do.
I remember that.
And then
Yes.
he's on the stand and he said, and Pitt is the guy who's responsible for the whole thing. And he's pretending to be the bad guy. He's like, I'm putting my best friends in jail because da da da. But he's actually trying to help them. So he's grilling De Niro on the stand, right? And he goes, "Oh, we're supposed to believe you because you're a priest? Is that what you want us to believe?"
Oh,
De Niro
because
goes,
he's the prosecutor?
"Yes, he's the
Okay,
prosecutor.
right. So
Exactly.
this was the total
Right.
do. This was the total
Total
do.
grift, total
Yeah.
scam. It's great."
Yeah.
And De Niro goes, "Well, no, I'm not just a priest. I'm a priest with ticket stubs." And he holds up the ticket stubs. And Pitt's like, "Oh," but he knew the whole time that was the
Right.
prestige, right? That's what gets him. So
And
yeah,
here's the thing, Brandon, they didn't have any of that. They were on their own. There was no social media. They
yeah,
were trying to they were just benders of the world,
yeah.
And but here,
You said it. They were seen as throwaways. Yeah,
how how do you we talk a lot about grit and perseverance and all that, at least the personal development piece of our lives and all that, but like how do you keep that up when you're facing an LWAP?
yeah.
You
I
know what
know.
I mean?
I
That's
know.
that's some real fortitude, and they deserve to be seen for that, and like they just were like, "Hey, we're gonna." I mean, people can't even do that on the outside,
Yeah,
not facing
yeah.
an LWAP,
I know.
coming up with all of these reasons and excuses and
Just
this didn't happen for me and this is somebody screwed me over and all that. And these guys were complete, I mean, they were innocent. Can you
yeah.
imagine that? feeling of like,
Andy
I
Dufresne.
didn't do it. I was just gonna say Andy Dufresne.
Andy
I didn't do
Dufresne.
it.
Yes. Didn't do it. Didn't
No,
do it.
but
I
can you
don't know.
imagine living with that? I mean, we
Wow.
think that we're wronged because a boss like does something, steals your work, or takes
Yeah.
credit for something you've done or whatever. But can you imagine you guys are guilty of
You got to
killing
get
old man Bob?
just in a day-to-day survival like mindset. Yeah.
No, but they didn't. That's the thing. They weren't broken. They
Oh,
had
I
each
know, but
other and
because they got into that mindset. Like
they
I'm gonna
got, I know.
survive all day, just day after day, just
But
start
it
stacking days.
wasn't like, I feel like they came from a place of like, even when they got out, like with that prosecutor totally trying to take apart these beautiful witnesses who came forward just to do the right thing. There was no conspiracy.
They're all in it together to try to get the yeah. I mean that, and which makes me think that they were feeling pressure from their boss, the DA, who was probably feeling pressure from the mayor because it was this brand new fund, right? And they didn't want to look like it would the city of Detroit put two teenagers away for the prime of their lives, like it was a PR disaster. So they had to try and save face
I
somehow.
know, but it's so I think that's getting back to the story. There's so many metaphors here for life. There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
Self-reflection about just grit, perseverance, family, all that. So,
Wow. Well, a great episode.
thank you.
Yeah, great episode, and looking forward to next week. That was awesome. When did you do these interviews, by the way?
I did them
Really recently?
yeah, I did
Oh, great. Okay.
Aunt Jan was on Friday, and Mary was like Wednesday or Thursday. So they were awesome. And Michael, the brother, was going to talk to me, but he was like, it was again so kind of tragic. He was like, I was going to do it, but I don't think I'm speaking out of turn sharing this, but he was like, I've just gotten to the point where I can compartmentalize what happened. And I said, of course.
Okay, cool. Well, good for you. Well, anyway, listen, Nation,
Good
if you
for you.
enjoyed this, please share it with somebody. That's how we grow the show. And leave us a review. Go over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And every little interaction with the algorithm just helps us grow. So we'd appreciate that. Anything you want to add, Carolyn?
Nope. Thank you so much for
All right,
listening.
great. Stay safe out there, everybody. See you next week.
High in the Sky Media, Criminal Mischief is an EVO production, recorded live in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We're produced by Brandon Morgan and myself, music by Soundstripe. For EVO Creative, I'm Carolyn Ossorio, your writer and host.